Hey, everybody, it's the Mount Rushmore podcast. My name is Jeff, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friends Richard.
Hello.
And Michael.
Howdy.
Richard and Michael, they like to debate and deliberate the most ubiquitous of any given topic, and this week's topic is one that's chosen by Richard. Richard, why don't you say it?
It is the Mount Rushmore of animals in music videos.
Now, back in my day, long-haired, freaky rock and rollers were the most animalistic and wild thing about music videos, but that's not always the case in every video.
Also, not the animals.
Not
They
the
did
animals, not the
make
band, the
music videos.
animals.
Yeah.
Why did you choose it?
Because I started to think about, there was a specific video I was thinking of, and I doubt it's one that Michael chose. I didn't actually wind up choosing it either. But for some reason, I was down a YouTube rabbit hole, and it was not a rabbit.
It was
either.
not a rabbit.
That's what I was thinking too, a rabbit or a bunny.
It was not Frightened Rabbit. And I started watching the video for All I Need Is a Miracle by Mike and the Mechanics.
Oh.
And it's got this cute dog at the end who comes along and like gives the band's manager who'd lost all their money, finds his wallet and gives him all the money back.
Oh,
it's
right
this
on.
cute little scruffy dog. And that's the only thing I had remembered from the video from years ago. I still remembered before I even put on the video. Oh, but this has got the one with the dog in it.
Yeah.
And the dog was in the video for maybe 15 seconds.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I read some things about MTV and the production of music videos. Do you think the animals were paid in cocaine too? Like the artists?
Most of the big cats, at
Okay.
least.
Okay.
For sure. And definitely your chimpanzees or monkeys.
Okay.
So I think with a lot of music videos, especially the ones in the 80s, they were trying to go for like some sort of, we're telling a story with this, man. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of times I think when you've got 3 minutes to try and get all these visuals in and illusions, the animals can become a storytelling shorthand for something else.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So Richard chooses. That means Michael goes first. And gentlemen,
Yeah.
I did post this out on the interwebs and got some really great feedback from some of my friends and fans of the podcast. So I'm going to be interspersing this throughout.
Super.
Michael, go.
So my order is just by year of release. They start in the 80s and run through the 2000s. So I didn't try to like game the system on this one.
Oh, I did.
Oh, did you?
Sure.
Okay. So my first one is The Stray Cat Strut by the Stray Cats.
Nice.
1981, directed by Julian Temple, who directed a ton of other music videos. He directed.
That's where he got his start, yeah.
He went on to do I'm reading off a quick list here. He did stuff for Depeche Mode, for the Kinks, for Culture Club, and then eventually went on to direct one of Emily's favorite movies, Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yes.
And you can definitely see where a lot of the colorfulness of that movie comes in through Stray Cat Strut, which is one of those music videos which is, let's take the lyrics of the song and let's see if we can, as directly as possible, put this on the screen for 3.5 minutes.
Right.
There's some videos are artsy. This one is like he is singing about literally pulling a, fish from a garbage can out. Got to have the shot of Brian Setzer pulling a fish.
Yeah.
Like one of the ones you would see in a Heathcliff cartoon,
Yeah.
right?
The note that I have written down is, if there's ever a video of what would it be like if Brian Setzer was Heathcliff,
Oh, my God. You
I can
guys.
picture this.
in music video form, is this video, because all these, they're like, there's lots of stray cat, there's like cats running around like an alleyway, and the lyrics for the song are just all about what if I was a stray cat, literally.
Right.
This is what my life is, and then it's just like, oh, I'm finding Mongo.
Yeah, I appreciate any band where they have a song that's named after the band.
Yeah.
That's like the Clash. This is Radio Clash.
Yeah.
You got to have a lot of balls to like just name a song after yourself.
What's the song about? Oh, it's about us strutting. Nailed it.
Yeah.
But there's just, and as the song is about cats, there are a ton of cats walking around. I don't know if this is on your list. Hungry Like the Wolf
No, it is not.
does not have a wolf
Oh.
like prowling through the city. Like, I guess
It's not a woman in makeup.
Yeah, there's like a woman
Yeah.
in makeup, and then
No,
like
it's
she
still not
turns
a wolf,
into a
yeah.
cheetah for a second or whatever. But like,
But not
I
a
went
wolf.
I went to watch it today, and I was assuming, oh, well, this is going to be as literal as I can imagine.
Yeah.
And it isn't. And I was really disappointed that there wasn't like he didn't turn into a wolf at some point.
My mother-in-law asked us, my wife and I, if we've seen The Wolf on the Wall Street, and
Oh, save it for what is your mom
Yeah,
talking
okay,
about
sorry,
on the
sorry.
internet
Okay,
episode.
Next week.
Okay, Manfredi. Oh, wait, so which pick was it?
The Stray Cat Strut
Okay.
by the Stray Cats.
Celebrating their 40 years of being Stray Cats.
They got a new album coming out.
Wait,
by the way.
I thought that he just kind of went off and did like Brian Setzer Orchestra stuff. Do they like get back together to do?
Yeah.
Or have they always been together and he just kind of comes and goes?
I don't
like
know.
a cat does.
In a band of 3, you'd think it would be very noticeable when somebody left the band. That's a band I think I saw when I was like 12 or something. I would love to go see them again. Richard, what do you got?
All right, my first one is Slash's Boa from the music video for the Guns N' Roses song Patience.
All right.
And this makes an appearance in the video. If you remember it, it's basically the band in various states of being bored or overwhelmed in hotel rooms as they're touring. It's their Turn the Page song.
What's the status of my masculinity when you said boa and I imagined this kind of like Marilyn Monroe
like a feathery boa thing?
Really? Tell me about this boa.
Well, that would be
Marabou
that would be more an Elton John
Yeah.
music video than a Guns N' Roses one. And so the Slash segment is basically him in a hotel room with these like multiple like peroxided, big boobed, groupies falling all over him, and all he cares about is like literally playing with his snake.
Yeah.
I mean, this is as I think sort of like with the Stray Cat Strut, an example of when the animal is not used as a very subtle
the metaphor is
for
not
anything.
Yeah.
And Slash is a huge reptile snake guy. That was actually his snake. He owned, at various times, he's owned like 14, 15 different exotic snakes.
Oh.
That is, you know what? That's all like a royalties thing, though. He just had to get his, he's a snake's agent, so he gets 10% of the snake's appearance fee.
I thought you
in
said
there.
he gets paid in snakes.
He gets paid in snakes. So he got his snake. It's nepotism. He got his snake into the music video. He's getting a little bit of that extra snake dollars every time that video's played. He gets a little handful of garter snakes that he feeds to the big snake.
Hey, it works. He's even, and I know you've been to the lair at the LA Zoo, the reptile house.
Sure.
He was a major contributor to get that started.
Well,
financially,
the big
with
snake
his snake
statue
money.
with the top hat. It's covering up half of its eyes at the opening. The big giveaway.
I mean, that's you think about Slash. What do you think about? You think of here's the Mount Rushmore things you think about with Slash.
Yeah.
Shirtless.
Top hat.
Oh yeah, top hat first.
Jufro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it that way, but
Can't see his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drugs.
Yeah.
Would be 3,
Bottle
and
of
then
Jack.
I would actually put Snake 4.
Snake
For
4.
me, I would say Snake.
Take that, expert guitar playing.
Those guys are a dime a dozen, but have you seen the guy's snake?
Have you also noticed it seems like Slash has this Popeye type of disease where his right arm he's got one, it's like his strumming arm is bigger than
That's
his.
actually the snake, Jeff.
Oh, God. I thought
he
that
actually
was
plays guitar with this. He
dear.
uses the snake as his...
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Michael, what's your second?
My second choice. I'm going to stay with Cats. And
Is it Cats, the musical?
It is the
'Cause
entire
we've already
Cats
gone through this once.
1983's "The Love Cats" by The Cure,
Oh,
which
wow.
is one of their sillier. Sometimes videos aren't very intricate, and this was one where they just kind of rented out some sort of mansion
Yeah.
and danced around. This was like when there was only like 2 of them in the group. It was like Robert Smith and like one of the other guys.
Yeah.
When it was just them for like a period of a few years, where the other guys kind of just fucked off, and they're like, I'm sick of dealing with this, and all they did was drugs and made really strummy, deep bass sounding Love Cat songs that sounded kind of like Stray Cat Strut in a little bit.
A little bit,
way.
yeah.
Very
There's
strange.
an acoustic bass happening, yeah.
Yeah, big stand-up bass. And this features every type of cats. It's got stuffed cats.
Oh.
It has real-life kitty cats. It has people dressed up in cat costumes. It has taxidermied cats. And I guess the story is the director, Tim Pope, who actually directed all of their music videos, they kind of went to like an estate agent and was like, we're interested in maybe buying this house. Could we maybe have the keys for the night or to test it out? And they basically brought their stuff in, got really drunk, filmed it drunk, And that was it. Then left and gave the keys back. So they trashed this guy's house. And apparently it was just like, we're done. We're here.
So this was like an early version of trashing someone's Airbnb.
Yeah, that's
basically.
very
Let's
good.
see the courtroom trial. Well, prove that we did that. Well, let me turn on the television.
Hold on, let me turn on MTV. But this is like when Robert Smith was really in like his cutest. This is like pre-heavy drugs, pre-heavy depression.
Oh.
Before kind of going off with Susie and the Banshees, before doing like Disintegration.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like, oh, Robert Smith and kitty cats. Can't go wrong.
It's a good formula.
Yeah.
Manfredi.
All right, so my second choice is the tiger cub at the end of Billie Jean.
I like the way that you're
Jackson.
framing this. Because it's not just music videos. It's specifically the animals in the music videos.
Most of these are very specific to certain points in the song. One of them kind of, the animal plays more of a starring role, but I think majority of mine, the animal is kind of a supporting character.
Yeah.
And in this case, that was actually one of my, of course, by the way, yes, it was one of Michael Jackson's tiger cubs. Of course,
It's personal.
It was his personal part of his personal collection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like sometimes in music videos or film shoots, someone will be like, "Oh, those are actually my hat. That was actually my hat." No, this was actually his tiger cub.
Yeah.
And I just remember as a kid thinking that was the coolest fucking thing. The way that the tiger cub kind of like transformed from the scarf that gets put down, and then there's the tiger cub there. Being a kid and thinking Michael Jackson was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
That looked like the coolest thing ever. I don't know what it had to do with the song necessarily, other than him, why a tiger cub and not a full-size tiger. That's what they had laying around.
But that speaks to him, doesn't it?
It does in a very unfortunate, when you look back on it now, sort of way.
He's never really seen himself as like a full-grown man.
Exactly.
Do either of you have another Michael Jackson pick?
No.
Commentator Fallen Foster asked, "Does Michael Jackson's Speed Demon count?" Are you familiar with this video?
But he did do several music videos that had animals in it. Not only Billie Jean, but also Black or White. The extended version has like this jaguar.
Transforms into like a panther.
Yeah. Jaguar basically.
Oh, there's a stop motion rabbit in this.
I would say that counts in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like
he does like a dance with a stop motion rabbit that's kind of a mischievous, Loki Pan type creature.
Right. Yeah. And of course there's Bubbles in the video for Leave Me Alone. So when you have a personal menagerie of animals to choose from, chances are they're going to show up in your music videos.
Just like Slash.
Can you see?
Just like Slash.
He gets paid in tiny monkeys.
them just like in a recording studio. You want some advice, Slash? Sure, Michael. Buy some animals. Put them in your videos. Yeah, thanks, Michael.
Invest in monkeys.
Invest in monkeys. I bought monkeys at $3 a show. Okay, so
do you think maybe like after he bought all the Beatles songs, someone told him about you should buy the monkeys too, and he just got confused and just started buying monkeys.
We are at our halftime. Oh my God, this is speeding by. I'm enjoying this conversation, but I'd really like to talk to you. How do we do that? Go to our social handles: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and talk to us. Leave us suggestions for topics you'd love for us to tackle. Let us know what we missed when we were discussing previous topics. We'd love to hear from you. We'd also love to hear what you think about past episodes of our podcast. You can let us know that by going to iTunes, Sound, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, QuickBooks. You can go to Wolfram Alpha. You can
you can only put numbers.
You just put numbers in there. You can go to Speak and Spell and let us know what you think. You suck. That's what they would put.
No more.
Hopkins, you're not funny. No, seriously. Please download, rate, and review past episodes and share the podcast with all of your friends. We would really appreciate that. Also, Richard, you usually have something brilliant to say at this point in the middle of this thing.
I'm too busy looking up this music video for Speed.
Okay, sorry. Speed Demon.
Speed Demon, which I can tell you was a Will Vinton.
Will Vinton, okay. The California Raisins guy.
Also the Noid makes an appearance.
Oh.
So there you go.
Oh, the Noid was on our. The Noid was on our evil brand mascots episode, right?
Was it even evil brand mascots like the Noid?
That's what it was.
That's what. Okay.
We weren't allowed to use him
because it was so obvious.
Because it was in the title.
Like the Noid. Okay. Yeah. So we'd appreciate it if you did that. And I think that's it.
Yeah, let's get back to it.
Okay, let's get back to it. Winfield, what's your third?
So I know we just mentioned 1991's Black or White by Michael Jackson, right? Morphed into you said a Jaguar, Panther, Jaguar, something like
Same
that.
thing.
Amazing morphing technology. 2 years later, it is going to be surpassed by Snoop Doggy Dogg's morphing into a Doberman Pinscher in the video for Who Am I? Parentheses, What's My Name?
Yep. Want to thank Justin Caesar, Minneapolis resident, fan of the podcast, for putting that in there. So that's now a double point.
Cool. Well, if you choose it.
If I choose it.
That's right.
Okay.
I got to keep it all fair and level. It's not like it's automatically chosen just because some jamoke on the internet is like, this is what's out there.
Some jamoke from Minneapolis, though.
Yeah.
He was into the replacements before anyone else was.
Matt.
Go ahead.
Total Matt's fan.
So in this music video, Snoop Doggy Dogg is in bed with a lady friend of his.
The dog father?
No, this is before he's any of that. We're not to refer to him as Snoop Dogg. We can't refer to him as Snoop Lion. This is when he's Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Okay.
Snoop Doggy Dogg is in bed with a lady friend, and she says, Snoop, my father's coming home. And she says, I love you. And he says, you just love my doggy style.
Oh.
At that point, the father is coming through the front yard, and it's littered with trash and evidence of a party, and some other dogs are hanging around outside. And she's like, my dad's home. What's gonna happen? What's going on? And he says, I'll take care of this. And then Snoop Dogg morphs into a Doberman Pinscher and runs amok and attacks the father. Now, my question: does Snoop Doggy Dogg
Are we in a courtroom?
Actually,
people of the jury?
My question to you:
he is part dog.
Oh,
okay. Does he have a fursona?
Yeah.
And how much of Snoop Doggy Dogg's time is spent thinking that he is a dog?
I think that depends on what strain of weed he's smoking at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's say he's smoking Blue Crush.
Sure.
I don't know. I pulled something that might.
That's a Shania Twain song.
That might be a version of Sprite or Mountain
Dew.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think you can get that at Taco Bell.
Oh, so you're asking a deeper question.
Well, I don't know. The rest of the video was spent with him and his other dog friends running around. You know, they transform into large dogs like Rottweiler.
Okay.
And then all the females turn into, Cocker Spaniels.
Oh.
I guess everybody just can morph into a dog at some point. And they're chased by, dog catchers throughout the city as Snoop Doggy Dogg sings about various
I didn't realize how close this was to Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, the actual plot.
Yeah, the plot
when he starts singing boom boom boom, that's when you know. But I don't know. I think that there's a very interesting thing that is like it's like all this literal stuff that happens with especially these first two videos. My last one is not that in any way, but okay, you're singing about cats, gotta have cats in it. His name is Snoop Doggy Dogg at the time. The song's What's My Name? Well, it's got to be about me as a dog.
Of course.
It's very funny that the directors that come. This one is directed by Fab Five Freddy. That the directors come in, they're just like, "Here's the plot. You are literally a dog."
Yeah.
And he's just like, "You know what? That is right."
Yeah.
What is the toughest and skinniest looking dog at the same time? The Doberman. That is me. I am that dog.
I will thank you to stop humping my legs, Snoop.
So you're saying it's an impressive amount of method acting by Snoop Doggy Dogg? What
is it about the nature of music videos that brings to fore some of these questions of the literal approach?
I don't know. You know what it is? So I was thinking about something kind of like this, and there's translations of books to movies.
Yeah.
Or books to TV or whatever, or comic books to movies. There's not a lot of translation of albums or songs to a movie. Like, you never take a single song and say, this movie is this one song. Maybe because of the length of it, it's 3.5 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever. But in theory, if you had a full album, and I don't mean like a quadrophilia or like
The Wall.
Or The Wall or something, I guess. But like, if that's not what it's kind of intended for, like, you could probably piece together a good movie out of something. But I don't know, maybe it's just like lyrics and music don't call for that. Maybe in a music video format, they call for something that is so literal that people want to see Brian Setzer saying, I'm in black and orange striped tabby cat.
Yeah.
And I'm eating bones out of the trash, or I am Snoop Doggy Dog and I'm running around with my other dogs and these bitches and whatever. And it's just like, oh yes, you're literally thinking about it in terms of dogs and
I would
whatever.
say television as a medium, unlike cinema, has redundancy between what people are saying and what people are showing. Movies, you can have voiceover, flashback, and narration, and the visual and the narrative can be different things. I will say one ambitious attempt was made at that, because I remember when Paramount optioned Mambo's number 1 through 4.
Yep.
Right.
But then they were working on Mambo number 5, and Lou Bega had pulled out of it.
Obviously.
Yeah, for a reason. So I think people are onto that. Paramount was, yeah.
What was really crazy was when they changed the entire format and went with Leonard Part 6.
Yeah.
And it felt so different. And I was like, I don't know where I'm staying.
I don't know what
where I'm coming in from. It's so weird.
Richard.
All right. So my third one is one where the animal is a little bit more presented in a more esoteric fashion. And this would be the fish from the end of Faith No More's epic.
Ah.
So if you guys remember the video, at the very end, the song kind of crescendos and then sort of transitions into this almost Layla-esque middle section, like the end of Layla sort of piano section.
Yeah.
It's very different than the rest of the song. And the main visual is this fish literally out of water, just flopping around on the ground.
I will say that the first reply on the crowdsource was the Brian
Faith No More
Forrest,
fish?
the fish. Yeah,
Nice.
the flopping fish in the Faith No More video. OBS.
For whatever reason, this was something that captured the public's imagination more so than anything else in the video, or I dare say even the song itself. And the fish became this little point of controversy. Like, was this animal torture?
Yeah.
You know, the band later went back and said, no, you know, we took it out for a few seconds. It was actually shot. It's actually in slow motion. So it was only out for a few seconds, and we put it back in. Found this out while doing the research for this. You know whose fish this allegedly was?
Get that big fish money.
Michael
Close.
Jackson.
Bjork.
Bjork's fish.
Apparently.
Oh, Bjork wouldn't let anything happen to her fish.
Apparently, that's what she said. Is that apparently she gave the fish to the keyboard player at a poetry reading in San Francisco. This was when she was still in the Sugar Cubes. And they decided to use it for the video, and she said later on, oh, I know those guys, and they wouldn't do anything to hurt a fish. Why did I sound like...
I know, slipped into Speedy Gonzalez.
Speedy Gonzalez, or...
That could still be a pretty tight Bjork. But
yeah.
Yes, it did sound like...
We're not that far
like
off
the Frito Bandito or something.
Frito Bandito or Jose Jimenez.
Jose Jimenez.
But yeah, so apparently... the little more fact for this episode. If you get nothing else out of this, understand that fish was Bjork's fish.
That's hilarious.
And I just remember I'm a huge Faith No More fan. They were one of my favorite bands growing up as a teenager, and I remember this video. There was something about that fish flopping around at the end, and having it come from out of nowhere. That's a Faith No More pun, and having it just feel like this very like surreal sort of ending to this otherwise fairly straightforward-ish music video. It just kind of caught you off guard.
Yeah.
Did they win any VMAs for that?
They may have
that
won
feels like
Best New Artist. I would have to go back and I'd have to go back into my catalog of VMA winners that I keep in my my study.
And you'd have to think that like 90% of that VMA, if that had won, had gone towards that fish.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, percentage of it.
Yeah.
I would say that's, considering Bjork's
Do you think
Icelandic
that fish was paid scale?
Oh! He just scored points on your suggestion. I would say
I'm not even mad. I'm
not
impressed.
even mad. Considering Bjork's Icelandic heritage, they love fish. They probably safe. That fish is probably safer with the Faith No More guys.
I would say, yeah, there's a very good chance that fish would have gotten eaten
You've
raw.
got an 8. Yeah.
I believe Michael can speak to the Icelandic fish eating experience.
We did not eat any fish there.
Why not?
Well, we're not big fish people, just in general. And then the idea of putrefied shark is really just not.
Ew.
It's not up. It's not up there in like the must-have to-dos.
It was more a nice thing if you could have, but not a must-do.
Okay, your final choice, Michael.
My last choice is 2001's Basement Jaxx, Where's Your Head At? Which, if you've seen this video, it involves a guy getting out of a car, and he's talking on the phone, and he's saying, I'm going to go talk to these guys. They've got the latest thing in pop music. And he walks in, and inside are some scientists. And the scientists have like this cutout, like this little like dummy of a monkey.
Yeah.
And then he has like a kind of a realer looking monkey next to it holding his car. And the guy's like, I don't know, this is not right. He says, well, here, hold on, let me take you back. And he takes him into the next room. And you go into this room, and there are all these monkeys with human faces on there.
Oh.
And they're starting to play the song Where's Your Head At, which is like this kind of trip hop song. And it is wild. Have you've seen obviously What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes.
You know the part where they talk about how one of the guys can turn into animals, but he's forgotten how to do it properly. And he turns around, he's a cat, but he's got Vadislav's face on it.
Yeah.
It is that.
Oh.
It's freaky.
It is a freaky video with all these like monkeys with human faces that are singing and playing instruments.
Oh, wow.
And then ultimately the monkeys, as they do, run amok. And then the scientists start acting crazy, as they do. They run amok, and it is just a hell of a music video for a great song.
That's the first monkey. I'm surprised.
You know what? I am too.
Yeah.
Because I started making a list of like different animals that I was like, okay, what do we got to get? We got to get a cat.
Yeah.
Got to get a dog. Got to get a monkey. And then I was like, what am I going to do for the third? I was trying to find snake. I didn't find that Patience one. I was like, what was that Britney Spears one? But that was like at the
VMAs. Yeah.
I thought that like whatever
Slave for You.
I thought that whatever video that was also like her with a snake, but it wasn't. It was like the VMAs, and I was like, I started giving up on snakes. I was like, birds. It's like,
Yeah.
So I did a second cat one.
That's
but
all right.
But I had to get a monkey in there. I thought of you a lot, Richard.
Good.
I thought of what was the monkey that gets a job and is wearing suits?
Oh, well, it could be. Well, that was an orangutan, and that was Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
I was thinking of Mr. Smith and You. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it could also be Lance. You could also be talking about Lance Link, Secret Chimp.
That's
So,
true. But this video is like right in like the really fun, cool zone of like 2000s, just kind of trippy, just house music, and you're just like, I'm into this.
Manfredi, end it. End it all.
So I'm ending it all, man. My last one is not just an animal that was in a music video, but co-starred and was
Captain Lou Albano?
very close.
Oh, okay.
Co-starred and actually was a co-performer in the song.
Oh.
I'm of course talking about MC Scat Cat.
Okay. All right.
As featured in the 1989 Paula Abdul hit Opposites Attract.
Of thanking our friend Amy Hewell, who beat Corey Wish to the punch when posting DJ Scat Cat. Yeah.
So, if you guys remember the music video, it's basically anchors away the Gene Kelly and Jerry scene. But Gene Kelly is Paula Abdul, and Jerry is now streetwise hip hop sassy cat. And
did she do more than Swingers to usher in the Zoot Suit
Oh yeah,
phenomenon
the Cocktail
of
Nation.
like the early 90s?
she was ahead of the curve on it. That's certainly the case. And the whole video is them basically flirting with each other and talking about how they're opposites, but they're still attracted to each other, which makes me think: is the whole point of this video is that Paula Abdul's gonna fuck like a anthropomorphic cat?
Is she a furry?
Is she a
Whoa.
furry? What's happening here?
Wow,
Yeah.
What's her persona?
she is not large in stature, Paula Abdul. She
No,
has a
so-
very feline type of.
Exactly. So maybe she was auditioning for cats around that time.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there was some sort of like tie-in with that. I'm
Yeah.
not really sure, but it's kind of creepy. There's the one scene where like his tail kind of comes up over under her skirt and lifts it up a little bit.
Classic cartoon cat move.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know if at any point his eyes went "Arooga," like a Tex Avery cartoon, wolf or something, but I'm willing to bet it's possible. Video was, by the way, also DJ or MC Scat Cat does have the little soul goatee thing coming down, because that's how you know he's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Didn't just appear in this song, but in fact was the impetus for a full-fledged album, The Adventures of MC Scat Cat and the Stray Mob.
Wow.
Which was kind of like a proto-Gorillaz.
Oh.
And that it was like sort of this
Cartoon band.
made-up cartoon band. Except the difference with this one is they really sucked.
Oh.
So that's really the difference between them and Gorillaz.
Yeah. Wow, that's fast. Do we think she had bigger plans? Like, there was a spin-off album. Do you think like she was looking to do her own kind of full-length partnership, more duets with this? Was that it?
No, I don't think so. I think it was a one-off thing. But then the video was so successful that somebody got whoever, probably the songwriter, got the idea of, we could do a whole album out of this. If the Simpsons can put out a whole album, we can get a whole album out of or MC Scat Cat.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, guys. So, I was kind of looking for themes in here, and sometimes I can find them and sometimes I can't. But I think this was pretty amazing that this is the first time in a long while that you guys don't have any crossovers.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking.
Oh, it's true. There are a couple that I thought. There's one that I was for sure Michael was going to have, and that was going to be Holidays. What's the...
Weezer?
Yeah, the Weezer song.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I thought of that too, and it was just like, that's just them with a bunch of animals. I mean...
It almost feels like that
it doesn't tie into anything.
It's such a lazy use of animals.
Yeah.
It's basically like a home movie.
Tell that to Justin Caesar,
okay,
Minneapolis hipster, who voted not once but twice, and that the chimp from the Weezer's Island in the Sun video. There's a lot of animals in that video, but the chimp's my favorite. Thank you, Justin, for letting us know that the chimp stood out for you. I want to thank Ryan Love, who we know from supporting this podcast. The most controversial image of the 90s, the monkey crucifixion and Closer by 9 Inch Nails.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Did anyone go with the monkey from Shock the Monkey by Peter Gabriel?
I don't know if that was just too obvious of a thing or something like this.
Too on the nose.
Yeah. Wanted to thank Andy Crocker for submitting I think a fan-created version of Baker Street by, what's his head?
Jerry Rafferty.
Jerry Rafferty, where there seems to be, during the sax solo, a sea lion playing the saxophone as captured at SeaWorld or something. So although that's not a professionally made music video.
I really hope it was. I'm hoping it was actually playing. It wasn't just like overdubbed.
Yeah.
That the bastards at SeaWorld have like beat this sea lion into actually being able to play just this one specific solo.
Yes. So I'm going to just pick the choices of yours that were fan sourced or that the fans agreed with, and Snoop. Michael got Snoop, and that was pretty awesome. And Richard got Faith No More and Opposites Attract, and so those. And I'm going to pick my fourth pick is going to be, just because I love that story that backs it up, the Love Cats. So I got 4, right?
No, you need one more.
No, it's 4.
That's 4. Yeah. Faith No More.
You're right. You're right.
So
You're right,
Oh,
Jeff.
shoot.
Are you questioning the
Oh
judge?
my God, you're right.
This has been the Mount Rushmore of animals in music videos.
He's still right.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
right.
still right.
Right about everything.
I'm going to be right till the end of this. I, as always, am Maynard. I'm wrong.
I'm Gus, the football kicking mule.
Hi, Michael.